At Panorama, we combine two things. We combine research and technology. This is our approach to not only get the data collection right, but to harness how the value that those data can bring to us. Your knowledge, because you make decisions with that base.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Africa Tech Talks. Today with us, we have Telson Kapassola from Panorama. I will not give a big introduction of Telson because I will let him do that by himself. Telson, welcome and thank you for being on our podcast today with us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. So let's just get started. I can
Let's
introduce
get
myself.
started. Yes, Telson. I want you to do that. I want you to do that, please. My first question is: we want to know the origins and the vision of your startup. Okay, Panorama, that you
Okay.
are going to go into further detail. We want to know a little bit more about you, so our listeners that are watching on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever medium, they can know a little bit more about yourself and your startup. So we are really interested to learn more about your entrepreneurial journey. You're a very
Okay.
young person. You're 23, 24 years old now, right?
24.
You're a very young person, 24. So could you share your story and how you got started as an entrepreneur and the idea behind Panorama, uh,
Yes, of
and
course.
some of the and some of the key ventures you were involved in along the way? We are particularly curious what on the inspiration that led you to create the company, and what is the problem that Panorama is aiming to solve.
So, hi everyone that is watching us now. My name is Telson Kapassola, and I'm from Angola, and I have 24 years old. As Ivo said, I'm in a very young age, but uh, I'm still have a lot to learn, and I'm here to share what I have learned already and what I have accomplished already. So my journey as an entrepreneur began not so many time ago, but as a teenager, I was very passionate about computers. I had the opportunity to always have a computer in my home. So I was that nerd kid that was always besides a computer. So my journey started there because there I realized that somewhere in my life or in my journey, I had to work with technology. So I start to read about it. I start to follow people around the globe that become my very role models in this area. And I went to college and I studied computer engineering at Tech. And then I realized that I needed to work in this area of technology, of innovation. I learned the practice, I learned the technology, I learned the technique to deliver innovation, to take an idea to a really real product. So the journey began there when I realized that I had to work with technology. And with this passion and all in this environment of the transformation, the technology that we live every day with apps from USA, with technology built from foreign people, uh, this ecosystem revealed to me that I can do it also here in Angola. So I started to create a project one by one. Most of them they failed. Uh, so I think those experience allow me to gain experience and knowledge to really create products that can produce value. They can create value here in Angola. So I started to create these projects with people from my college at that time. The main project that I created was a bike sharing system that reinvented the way we as kids used to play at the streets. We used to borrow our bikes, and uh, doing that, we always ask a magic question to the owner of the bike, which is, uh, can you give me one ride? In Portuguese, I need to explain why this is important in Portuguese, because one ride is giro. So I created this startup called giro, which is nowadays the kids are not very familiar with our old ways of playing. We used to play at the streets, and now the kids play at their own houses, playing PlayStation and watching TikTok and etc. So we created this with the mission of reinventing the way that we used to enjoy our time. So this is one of the main projects, the first projects, excuse me, sorry, the first projects that I put myself into. So then it was a long journey and an ambitious one. Also, I even created a company called Inzo Code, which is a postal code company, because uh, here in Angola, as is the same reality as other countries in Africa, we don't have a organized address system. So we give our address based on instructions about the point of reference, which is an informal way to tell to the people where we are. I can give you one example. I live here and I live near to the store of Uncle John. So we created a company based on this instruction, which is called Inzo Code. This was those two companies and other ones I can share with you guys, but I think we'll consume a lot of time entering in detail in these stories. So then I realized something very important, which I was already a victim of this. But why I was a victim? Because every time that I went to create a new business model, every time that I tried to focus creating a new project, a new technology innovative project, I struggled with one single thing: the lack of data. The lack of data, I think, is something that keep us away from exploring our own potential, because we live in an area where data, we used to say that the bit is the new atom and information is the new oil. What I'm saying this because if you don't have data, you can you are exposed to make wrong decisions, and those wrong decisions will affect your business modeling. So I started thinking, well, I created all those projects and I had the same problem, which is the lack of data. Where can I find data to validate my idea? Where can I find data to validate my business model? And I used to think, and I start to think that maybe there are other people that have the same problem as me. So I created Panorama, which is a data tech startup focused on give to people the opportunity and the possibility to have access to data. Is a company which is core is focused on produce the data that are available in the streets with the people. We go to the companies, we go to the streets, we go to the people, and we extract the data, we collect it, and we work on it, and then we deliver business value and insights for people that want to use that information that was not available. And that's it, Evo. I don't know if I answered your question.
Thank you, Telson. So you started. So one of your first ideas and startups was a company called InzoCode, right? So one of the one of the challenges that we still have here in Angola, in many other cities around the continent, is the addressing system, right? The addresses, postal codes, and so on that we still lack in many areas. So your first idea was how can I try and solve this? So you created this first startup and initiative to try to address that. But you one of the things that always concerned you was the lack of transparency, lack of data, lack of information to take decisions. And so you decided to create Panorama for that same reason, so you can
Exactly.
help not just yourself but others that need to make business decisions, investment decisions. So Panorama is really trying to gather market or market intelligence, market intel, to provide to individuals and organizations. That's pretty much it, right?
Exactly. At Panorama, we combine two things. We combine research and technology. Uh, this is our approach to not only get the data collection right, but to harness how the value that those data can bring to us. And we also combine a third party aspect, which is the business knowledge. We see ourselves not as a technical, a very technical, only technical startup, but as a consulting as well, in the way that we can advise the people or our clients to get the best value of the data and the information that we collected.
Okay, totally understood. Victor, you have some questions for our friend Telson here?
Hello, Telson.
Hi, Victor.
Um, yeah, it's related to this entrepreneurial journey that you have been through for a couple of years now, probably with so many ups and downs, lessons learned in this way. What can you share with our viewers in terms of your learning points or main learning points during this journey as a young entrepreneur?
Yes, of course, being an entrepreneur is not easy um, anywhere. I think it's difficult here in Angola. It's difficult in USA. It's difficult anywhere. But besides that, we here, as we are not the the, the first world, I will say this way, we are um, taking the waves that are created in these countries like USA. The reality here is relatively difficult in comparison to those countries. So in this journey, I learned a lot of things, but the main thing that I can share is first how you deal with people, because I see a lot of entrepreneurs thinking that their ideas are the thing that will bring their companies to success. The ideas that focus, that build, that that passion that every entrepreneur has. Most of us think that this is the only, or this is the mainly thing that you need to get towards your goal. But I started to think in a different way. Although that is important, it cannot be the only thing, because you can for sure assume that you have this will, you have this focus, but you will not create a company by your own. You will not create a company alone. You need to make sure that you will find the right partners. I'll say this way: you will find the people that can share this passion with you. And not only you need to find those people, you need to lead them towards a shared goal, a shared goal. You need to lead the people. So one of the things I would say is the main thing that I learned is the way to lead, is the way to deal with people. there are everyone, mostly young people. So I can give you examples. If you are a leader, you need to be able as a business leader, you need to be able to build the right structure for your own team, build the right jobs positions for your team so that can work in a organic way, in a sustainable way. Other thing that I think is a critical factor to win as an entrepreneur here in Africa, and I think this is the same at many locations, at all the locations, I would say, is technology. I had person in my life that used to say that your first business is your mind, and you first need to work on that. So then you will be able to work in a with a company, create a company. So the thing that I find that is also as important as leading the people the right way is the way that you will build your knowledge, because you make decisions with that base. I think for entrepreneurship, you need to read books, a lot of them. You need to listen, really listen actively to the experiences of other entrepreneurs. You need to be a sponge to everything that you can learn so that you'll be able to take care team, which will uh, naturally start as a small team. You need to be able to work with a small group of people, so then you can be able to work with a very large group of people. So I would say those are the most things that I value uh, in this entrepreneurship journey.
Yeah, building the right team to leverage all of the work and the
Exactly.
efforts.
I used to
The-
say, sorry to interrupt you, Victor. I used to say at my team, I used to say this. This is something that very people said as well. Get the right people in the bus, but I think a little bit different. My question is not how can I get the right people in the bus. My question is which bus.
yeah, there is this common perception that when to become an entrepreneur needs to be full time involved and engaged on that. But your case is interesting because you start doing entrepreneurship while you are still studying at the university, and even nowadays you are developing your startup Panorama while you are also working full time in a corporate entity. How do you combine this? Also, how do you live this experience? Yeah?
Thanks for asking, Victor. I think is a very interesting question, because most of people, of course, had a different journey. Most of people leave college, start to work at a company. So then they leave the company and then start to think, I need to create something that is mine. In my case, it was the the positive way. I first create those ideas that after they become companies, real businesses. So then that I graduate from college, and then I went to the um, to the market. I think it's an experience because I think that I will not call it a philosophy, but I think I can call it a way of looking at things, which is connecting the dots. Uh, what I'm, what is this connecting the dots? I think at everything that you put yourself into, you can learn things at that place. Even if you then go to a next place or a totally other environment and context, you still can learn things there. And all of those things or all of those environments that you once put yourself into, you can connect it after to really make a difference in your drive or in your main objective. To answer that question, that's basically it. I went to experiences in my professional career that I know that I will learn some things that I won't be able to know those things if I didn't. And I don't know if you guys can see can see yourselves in those statements, but there are some practices, there are some ways of working that you learn in specific places at specific companies that can open your eyes to how business is actually doing inside the market. It's not easy to get all the things together, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, because is that you bring also this entrepreneurial spirit into your corporate, and in return you also uh, receive this learning in terms of how to set up the organization and how to build the roots for or the grounds for Panorama, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Telson, you mentioned that one of the reasons or the main reason behind the creation of Panorama was the lack of data in the market for your own needs and decisions, but also as a in global sense. But there are already other companies doing this kind of market studies and market intelligence. Some already living or living in the meantime. So how do you position Panorama? What led you to be a new player in a market that was not new, but to make things differently?
Thanks, Victor, for asking. At Panorama, we see ourselves as a multiplayer, but what is actually being a multiplayer? Of course, there are companies that work with market research here in Angola. Of course, there are some of them are leading in their markets, and some of them are also working here for a long period. But we actually we do not see us we do not see those companies as a direct competitor because of one factor. I think we look at different customer profiles. What I'm saying is the focus, the main focus of those companies is work with uh, big companies, big corporations, and produce the business value and in the knowledge for those companies. And I think this is a very important service for a country. Is very important that you have entities that their focus is to create and give and provide service of market intelligence to big companies, to corporations. But at Panorama, we wanted to democratize the data. We do not want it only to work with big companies and big clients. We felt that the people, small companies, micro companies, and people as individuals, entities as individuals, can also be part of this equation. They can also have access to data. So, what we are trying to say when we say that we want to democratize the data is not we'll produce data at any cost and we will provide those data to everyone at any price point. It is not that. Our goal is to create services that are not too expensive so that people, regular people, a simple college professor, a simple student, a simple entrepreneur beginning is entrepreneurship journey, as an investor, a college, a student that is not in Angola and wants to study his country. So all of these people, all of those stakeholders can access data through Panorama at a very low price. So this is our point of difference. This is where we are focusing, producing data and democratize it in a way that everyone, everyone, literally everyone can have access to it, can have access to Angolan data, which is not a reality nowadays. Um, you have all of those companies that are already working here, but if you Google something, you will not find. We know the reasons because the data they collect, the data they produce, are not meant to be public because they belong to a corporation, or
All
or,
right.
or or they belong to their own services.
All right. All right. Yeah, yeah, interesting. I will hand over now to Andre, who probably will elaborate more on this data building and complexity. Yeah.
Thank you, Victor. Um, yes, well, one of the questions that I have, Telson, is whenever you're searching for data in African countries in general, you never find enough, and it's really hard, and you have to go, and even the most experienced internaut goes, and even if he digs deep, he has a lot of trouble in getting the right information and good information in general. uh, this is one of the biggest challenges we face in Africa because, as you said before, you said this: without data, um, you don't have you have a risk of making the wrong decisions. This is your own words. So we need to make better decisions. One of the things that I would like to know is what have been the challenges that you faced, that you already went through and that you already solved, and did you had any help from anyone outside or inside the organization? And what kind of technologies are you using to not only gather data but also solve those problems?
Thanks, Andre. I think this is a very interesting question. And to answer that, I will start to say that we, in all of these years, these 3 years of existence of Panorama, we really struggled at data collection because it's a cost operation, a costly operation, and we actually do not had at that time the right experience to perform at a high level in terms of logistics, in terms of managing people at the field, in terms of get the right data collected, in terms of using the right tools to collect the data, the right tools to analyze it, and the right tools to visualize it as well. So but this reason, because of this, we create something that we call the Panorama framework, which is basically a hub of knowledge that we keep inside our company that allow us to make decisions and to perform based on the things that we learn at this whole process. Is a very structured document that we follow at whenever we want to, whenever we are dealing with a new client, or whenever we are making a new survey, or a new research. But yes, I think there was struggles, and I think there are actually current struggles that are natural. Is not a business is not meant to not have challenges. I think when a company does not have challenges, I think it's not a company. Maybe it's an utopic organization. But one of the challenges that we face today is the maturity of the people. We started to think that we wanted to build a very large information based. We not call it database to not get people confused, but we call it information based, which is the infrastructure that we put and we keep all of our data and information. We have a very large information base, and this was our goal. And to create this, we need to collect a lot of data. So we face a challenge, which is when we went to the street and we interviewed.
Starting getting the data seen. Yes.
Exactly. When we were interviewing someone, the people do not have already the maturity to put
Answer you.
themselves in a position to just answer. So we have researchers that we went to the street, and we spent the all day at the street. We spent weeks, and the number of collections was below of the number that we expected to be. So this is the challenge. Is really the performance at the street, uh, which is do not we does not depend only on us. It also depends on the people that are being interviewed. So this is one of the challenges. Of course, we have technical challenges, which is that motivate us to create a very rich people in terms of knowledge, a very well experienced people. We have our senior advisor, Shaquille De Brito. He was a research executive at Currys, which is the biggest, I think, store at the UK, and we have a lot of people at the Panorama that have knowledge, the right knowledge to help us delivering the best services, the best data quality, and the best business value to our stakeholders.
So from what I understand, you started with dealing with creating a framework to gather data, to structure the data and the way of collecting it, and then you went to the reality world. So where you faced
Exactly.
the challenges, which was basically, from what I see also, is the main challenges that you faced was or were the availability of people to give you information also, and probably the training of the people that went to the street to collect it, eventually the trust that people have to fill some documents and to give you information for freely, without any concern, because people, whenever they're approached, maybe don't feel comfortable, and that's something that you may have to approach as well. And that was the main challenges, or that were the main challenges, because afterwards you went to and you connected with people that also has a lot of experience in structuring and analyzing data, so that you could provide the best data for your customers. And that is probably also one of the biggest assets that you have in your company, right?
Exactly. Exactly. This is not only the biggest asset. This is the main asset. The asset, because our go-to-market strategy is based on a single word, which is trust. When you're working with data, you need people to trust your data. In other words, your data is only as valuable as it is trusted and credible. And talking about trust, we believe that if you are if you are acquiring a new client, or if you are trying to sell a project, you need to connect with a prospect, a lead that believes that the data will actually bring benefit to him. So that that is when we start to create a relationship with this client, because they need to trust this belief, they need to trust this value that a data-driven company will be and is currently in other markets in other countries the type of company that takes the lead in a market. So this is something that there needs to be shared between us and our clients. So trust is a very important word. It's a very important value for us. We everything that we do, we we kept this value at our minds, that we need to create something that the company not only will trust, but after they trust, they will get benefit from those informations, from those data. So that's it. Uh, I think it's a relationship between trust and opportunity. We used to say some of people ask ourselves. So if you are collecting all those data, why I am? never heard about Panorama? The answer is very simple. We look at our go-to-market strategy, and right now we are only focused on our innovators and early adopters in the adoption curve. By why that? Because we acknowledge, we recognize that we not yet a data-driven society. It's not every company they will meet, they will admit to you that they need data to make the right decisions. They will not make a single decision without looking at a graph or without looking at a report. So we are focusing in the people and the companies that already know that a data-driven services will be the services that will take the lead in the market, in the Angolan market. So we used to say, answering this type of questions, that our awareness in the market is a relationship between timing, because we need time to grow, we need time to have more clients. Um, every company does need time. Is a relationship between time, maturity, because we need to work with mature companies that understand our values and beliefs. Time, maturity, and opportunity and scalability, because opportunity and scalability will allow us to continue to deliver these services for the clients that need it. So this is where it comes opportunity, and by creating a good reputation, we will of course scale to a large
A
proportion,
larger audience.
exactly.
Also, and due to your specific case or use case, you understand that one of the biggest challenges is that people don't have the right information so that they can take the best decisions. And you want to address that by creating the best solution, the most trustable, or the most precise solution, so that people can have the best information so that they can take the best decisions in a market that you're paving the way also at this moment. Because, and let's be real, there's not this culture yet of taking data driven decisions. So you're paving the way, you're also creating a new perspective for many companies, and you're giving that access to other companies that never had that opportunity yet. That's very, very interesting. I will handle now to Victor, where you will talk to him about digital inclusion.
This pretty much related to we are just talking about this data awareness, the lack of or insufficient. As you are developing a technological platform to provide data in a more democratic or democratized way, it also assumes that we have very good data literacy in the market, right? And how do you see the development of or the role of data inclusion and data literacy in the development of African economies and Angola in particular?
Well, thank you, Victor, for your question. I think is a very interesting question, and the talk about data literacy is something that was actually one of our first market research, because we understood that if you are if you will be a data company, a data tech startup, we will need to know the state of art, the state of art of data literacy in our country, in our own market. So we had a member of Panorama, which is called Luana Franco, that she always said that if you need to be, if you will be a data company, a data driven company, we first need to know our own data. our own data as a company. We need to know the data of our employees. We need to know the data of our competitors. We need to know the data. When I say data is not their data, but is how can or we understand that them. But we also and mainly need to know and have the data about our own market, the data market here in Angola, in a social and economic way. So we actually have a inside study, inside research that tells us how is the data literacy rate here in Angola, and what are the approaches that a company needs to take to address that and harness the opportunities around our market. So we see that if you are talking about data literacy, we need to talk about, as literacy says, we need to talk about education. So education is it plays an important aspect in this conversation, because without it we will not have uh, data literacy at higher rates here in Angola. So uh, this same education is something that we take care inside our people. We have a program inside that every people that come to join us will pass through a series of courses and learning development about our own way of work, of course, about data, about AI, about data mining, data visualization, and all of those aspects. So we actually understand that even to work in a company that uses data as a service, you need to get people educated in this matter. So if we as specialists need to study, we need to educate ourselves. Of course, the entire ecosystem, the entire society needs to do it as well. So we actually have planned to have already planned to start this year an inclusion project that will provide education about this matter to children, to teenagers, and to college students, and so on. So I think that we not only need to be data driven as companies, as Panorama and our clients, we also need to be data driven as people, because we have our data running through our phones, through our computers, and through every device that we had, and we need to take good care of the data. So to answer your question, Victor, that's it. It's a conversation that I think that relies on education.
as the digital inclusion as a whole. Yeah. As a tech startup in Angola, how do you see this startup ecosystem evolving into the near future here in Angola? What are your perspectives?
Well, I would like to see
Evolve
a
the whole
unicorn here
system.
in Angola. To answer your question, I would love to see one Angola unicorn. I think we still far from that to happen, but I think we are in a good way, in a good ride towards it. And I think the Angolan people has a very entrepreneurship soul. We see at the streets here in Angola that everyone basically is an entrepreneur. You see our our ladies, where that we call Zungeras, they are vibrant entrepreneurs. The way they will sell things to you, I think that's magic, and I think it's only a matter of time, and also is a matter of success stories. We need uh, uh, to create people, or to erase people that will be a role models, a role model, so that other people can relate to that and pursue their ideas and their business objectives, because most of people of my age, they have great ideas, and they have brilliant ideas and they have brilliant minds that allows them to really create good startups and good companies. But in comparison to countries like USA, in societies like USA and Europe, we do not have a lot of success stories. We do not have yet a lot of people that you see. Oh, John dropped out of college and started a startup, and now he's doing well. We do not see that. We need to first, as I said, to educate people, give the startup ecosystem time to grow, and also we need to invest and create those role models, those success stories that will allow other people to realize that they can do the same.
Right, right, Telson. And wishful that you have an Angolan unicorn. Right.
I hope so. I hope so that there will be the one.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. I will hand over to Ivo,
Yeah.
who has also some question about your future plans.
Yeah, so we are reaching the end of our episode, and you're still still on the beginning of your journey, Charleston, right? So you're a very young entrepreneur, and you're doing amazing things with Panorama. But in the short medium term, what can we expect from Panorama, and how are you and your team uh, addressing all the new innovations that we are witnessing? I mean, I think just yesterday with the announcement of GPT 4.0, I think OpenAI just killed more than 2,000 new startups or something like that. So Sam Altman already warned us some months ago and saying, if you gotta do something in the AI fields, if you want to survive, just don't be a wrapper around ChatGPT or OpenAI to provide a little bit more value, because eventually you will get wiped out with a new update from us, right? So we are witnessing very fast technology advancements on the artificial intelligence and generative AI. What are your plans in the short near term for Panorama? What can we expect from you?
And I think that your question is an opportunity to talk about our next venture, which is Panorama BI. What is Panorama BI? Panorama BI is a platform, is a cloud platform that will allow anyone to go there and to access data from different providers, from different data providers. Panorama is only one of those providers, but we have at this platform a lot of providers from other markets and other countries. We combine in a single platform, in a single business intelligence, user and human centered platform, the opportunity to someone that needs to get a little bit more about a market, about a specific industry, a specific matter, to sign a subscription and to actually have access to gigas of information, gigabits of information. Is a very ambitious venture. Is a very ambitious project that it took us 2 years to develop it, and we will be launching next month. We'll be doing a demo tomorrow at the Angola Startup Summit. So if you guys wants to see the platform, we will be showing the platform tomorrow. So that's it. This is a platform that will actually make the difference here in Angola. Is the first open business intelligence platform created here, and this is It not only allows Angolan people, but foreign people as well. Well, I'm a foreign investor, and I heard someone say that Angola is a very promising market. So I can sign a subscription and validate those informations at the Panorama BI. Or in other case, other example, I am a student doing finishing my master degree. I grew up in Angola, and I am at the UK, and I want to make my thesis about my country, but I'm far. I do not have the data. Even with people that lived here, they struggle with information about their own country. So we are actually solving those problems by giving those people the opportunity to sign a subscription in a platform, in a cloud platform. There is there was built with a human-centered design that will allow them to harness all of the information that Angola have digitalized already. So this is one of our ventures. The other thing that we you are planning to do, and I like that you mentioned AI, because it's a thing that we see ourselves as the leader company here in Angola. But why and how? You cannot talk about AI, you cannot talk about data mining without talking about the data existence itself. You will not run machine learning models without a data set. You cannot do it. You technically you study at the college that you need to have a significant data set, so then you can run your machine learning models on it. You will train one part and you will run at the other part of the data set. We do not have the data here in Angola, so we are solving this. We do not have the data sets. So to other entrepreneur that has an idea like ChatGPT, to perform and to access a data set to build his own machine learning models. And we are solving this problem too. So when I say that we want to democratize the data, we want to really create data sets for people, so they can access information and build whatever they want with it. So
That's that's amazing news, Telson. So you said that tomorrow you're going to do a demo for in a startup event that is going to start tomorrow with a duration of 3 days, I think. Is that the
exactly,
Startup Summit that is promoted by Unitel?
exactly, Startup Summit.
Startup Summit. Okay, wonderful. So, if you can later after the show, you can maybe after tomorrow share with us a small video of your demo. If you allow us, we can share it also in our social networks, in our newsletter with our listeners.
Of course,
What I think what you guys are doing is very interesting, because getting access to data sets on demand with very localized data and information about the local market. I don't know what kind of data are you guys going to provide. If it is consumption data about the end consumer, about surveys about organizations, I don't know, but I'm sure it will be a differentiator. I mean, and you're gonna do it on a subscription basis. So everyone, individuals and corporations, nationals or foreigners that want to access, they can pay a monthly fee and get access to these data sets. That's it. That's what you're saying.
exactly.
Okay, so that's a shift from the traditional company that provides market intelligence and data by request, right? So I am a customer. I approach you and I say, listen, I want you to produce a report about something, and then you produce it, right? What you're saying is, no, we're going to have a platform. People are going to subscribe, and they are going to do self-service of that data.
Exactly. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Okay, that's wonderful. Telson, listen, thank you so much for having the time to be with us. I wish you and your company, Panorama, the best successes. Please go and tomorrow do a great demo at the Startup Summit. I hope you guys have lots of customers in the next few weeks, and we'll talk pretty soon.
Okay,
We'd love
thank you guys
to
for having me.
get on the pod.
Thank you guys for having me. It's an opportunity to be here with these giant minds, Andre, Victor, and Ivo. So
I have a giant head, not a giant mind. I have a giant head, not a giant mind. But thank you.
The pleasure is mine. The pleasure is mine. Thank you, guys.
Telson.
For having me.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you once
It's
again.
the part. It's
Thank
the
you.
part that you have to say to our viewers that they shouldn't forget to subscribe. To
Of
go and
course.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Listen, to all the people that are watching us or listening to us right now, please don't forget to follow us on the social media. Go to our website, follow, subscribe, like this video, like this podcast, share it with as much people as you know. It will help us a lot. And that's it. Thank you so much once again for supporting us and this great initiative.